everyone, welcome back to another German Girl in London video. I actually just recorded this video, but my camera just chose to not save it. So this is take two, which I hate doing take twos. I don't know why, but I feel like it never comes out the same way. It's just never as good in a way. So excuse if it just, if I'm a bit meh, because I hate refilming videos basically. Today's video is about using the wrong vocabulary within the English language, if that makes any sense. So I lived in America for 7 months when I was 16. It was like a student exchange. So my grasp of the English language, started kind of American. So I learned American vocabulary. So for example, in British English, they call it a boot, and in American English, they call it a trunk. I always plan to make a video on all of those differences. There are so many, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But one day I hope to make a video all about differences between vocabulary between America and the UK. But today it is all about words where I still use the wrong vocabulary. So I have lived in London for 5.5 years, almost, not quite, almost 5.5 years. Or actually, no, over 5.5 years. My God, my maths. See, maths. In British English, it has an S. In American English, it doesn't. This is not example one, but this just happened like spontaneously. So yeah, my math's horrible, but yeah, about 5.5 years. Let's just say it like this, doesn't really matter. And there are still some words where I just kind of can't get rid of the American vocabulary. So in just daily language, I will accidentally use American vocabulary when I mean to use the British one. Example number 1 is the word couch. Now I do know that some British people say couch anyway, but I think it's more of a bit of an American thing in a way. And in the UK you would more say sofa, I think. In German you can say couch or Sofa, but I just choose to say couch. I don't really know why, it just always comes out first. When I want to refer to something that is a couch or a sofa, I always say couch. And people have told me before that that's quite an American thing to do, so that is example number 1. Example number 2 is the word French press, and I actually have a French press, but I think in the UK you call it a cafetiere? I don't really know. I don't drink coffee, I just have it for other people really. And yeah, I just call that French press. I don't actually know what it would be called in German. They might just say French press too, I really don't know. And yeah, again, I think French press is more of the American way to say it, even though I'm sure some British people will call it French press, but I've been told it is a cafetiere in British English. Word number 3 is STD. Now this is not something that you'll have to use a lot in daily language, obviously, but it does come on the radio sometimes when they talk about statistics or when you watch a documentary or something like that. And in British English this is called STI. I think it stands for sexually transmitted illness or infection, I'm not actually sure, but in American English it's sexually transmitted disease. So I guess it would be illness in British English. I have heard British people say STD as well, but I think much more common is STI, which always throws me off when I hear it somewhere because it doesn't roll off the tongue quite as easily as STD. I don't know, I think STD just sounds simpler than STI. That's just me probably. Thing number 4 is chapstick. Now I think this one I can't get rid of because when I see lip balm, which is how British people would usually call it, lip balm, if lip balm is in a stick form, I just can't keep myself from calling it chapstick because it is a stick. If it's lip balm in a little tub, I will call it lip balm, but if it's in a stick, my brain just makes the association that it's a stick, so I kind of have to call it chapstick. And that is very American, I think. I have never heard a British person call it chapstick before. Thing number 5 is drugstore. I think in the UK you don't call it drugstore, they call it pharmacy or high street shop or something. And in America you call it a drugstore. I do think that more British people call it drugstore now as well, just because everything gets Americanized. And well, in Germany it's called Drogerie, so the association again is just really easy for me to call it drugstore, so I just call it a drugstore because it makes the most sense to me and people will know what I mean, even though it might not be the preferred British way of saying it. And yeah, these are 5 words where I do this. I'm sure there could be a part 2 of this video because these are the 5 that just came to my head like straight away, but I'm sure there are more words where I do this, where I use the American vocabulary still. And so yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. By the way, I have a German channel now. If you speak German or understand German and you want to check that out, it's linked below. I'd love you to check it out if you can. And thank you so much for watching, guys. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe maybe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!